began Tuesday in Atlanta, where he had been lying in repose at his presidential library. After a ceremonial transfer, the 39th president's remains arrived at Joint Base Andrews.
An emotional new chapter in the final farewell to Jimmy Carter. Take a look at this live image from the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, where the nation's 39th president now lies in state ahead of tomorrow's funeral there in Washington. NBC's Ryan Nobles joins us now. Ryan, good morning to you.
Hey, Craig, good morning. And starting this hour, the public will begin paying their respects to our nation's longest living president, Jimmy Carter. In fact, people are already lining up outside the Capitol to take part in the 24 hours of viewing that will last until 7 a.m. tomorrow. Carter's final journey to our nation's capital began Tuesday in Atlanta, where he had been lying in repose at his presidential library. After a ceremonial transfer, the 39th president's remains arrived at Joint Base Andrews outside Washington, eventually making their way down Pennsylvania Avenue to the nation's capital. The flag-draped casket then carried with care to the Capitol Rotunda, where the late president was honored by Vice President Harris and congressional leaders, all praising his work in office, his faith, and his spirit of volunteerism. Now, those tributes will continue today as members of the public say their own farewells. As for the national funeral service tomorrow, President Biden has declared a national day of mourning. Former President Carter's casket will leave the Capitol with a ceremony beginning at 9 a.m. The procession will then head to the Washington National Cathedral for the funeral service with a eulogy delivered by Biden. Carter's coffin will then fly back along with his family to Georgia, where a private ceremony will be held at the church in Plains. Carter will then be buried next to his wife, Rosalind, at their family home. Craig?
Ryan Nobles there for us in Washington.